I'm assuming nobody can see anything. Oh. I pressed the go live button. Are we live? Can anyone see or hear anything? Is anything happening? Is anything going on? You guys are going to have to let me know if we're actually here, if we're actually working. Hi Sloan, hello. Can you actually see me and hear me? Is this actually functioning? It's just giving me a whole lot of yellow and a whole lot of red, and I don't like those colors. Ooh. Hello, we can see! Can you hear me though? We don't need that. I'll introduce everything properly once we know everything's working. We can see you. Can you hear me? Are we good? Are we good? That's an issue. Oh, the audio's here. The audio's here. Okay, so basically, because we had so many issues last time with like frame rate and everything this time, rather than just relying on Wi-Fi, and therefore it should, in theory, is there buffer? There shouldn't be buffer. I've literally tried to put everything in place so that things will kind of function a bit this evening. Oh no. It just keeps giving me the error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What am I supposed to do about that? I've got OBS. I'm plugged into the Ethernet. We should have good connection, in theory. What else can I do? Why are you not receiving enough video? I've plugged it into the Ethernet. Is the Wi-Fi still? No, it's a plug in a box. It's a plug with a laptop with a computer-y symbol. It should. It does seem to be connected to Ethernet. But okay, well, how bad is it? Is it functional? Because basically, as long as the stream is functional, then that's what matters, really. As long as you can like see me enough and hear me enough. I think when we did it last year, I think the audio was basically fine. It was just the stream, the video stream was really buffery and everything. That is like not ideal but workable with, like, as long as it's basically what it needs to be. And also then the other thing to think about is what's the chat delay like. So I'm going to say something. I don't know. I'm going to say the word turtle, right? And the next time I say the word turtle, I'm going to count down to it, and then yeah. It's a good point, Dixie. I'm going to count down to the word turtle, and then I want you to put turtle in chat when I count down to it, and then say turtle, so that I know sort of what the delay is like on the. I was going to say Twitch chat, not Twitch chat. We're not on Twitch, unfortunately. On the YouTube chat. So, okay, is everyone ready? We've got to get some. We've got to get some turtles in chat, basically. Your internet connection is unstable. Why is my internet connection unstable? I'm connected directly into the modem. Okay. No. I'm gonna count down to turtle, and then you gotta say turtle. Right, ready? I'm gonna count down now. Okay, get your turtles ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turtle. Let's see what the delay's like. Oh, you were in top chat and can only see your comments. Nice. Easy mistake to make. Easy mistake. Okay, so you can hear me fine. I'm just buffering visually, same as last year. Yeah. I just don't understand why it's turtle. Okay, that's like probably like a solid 20-second delay, something like that. Workable with. Yeah, that's a good like 30-second delay. not ideal, but we can work with it. We've literally all been set up in like the last hour, desperately trying to make everything work. So basically, I think the stage we're at is the video's messed up, but the audio is okay. So I'm just going to get on with it. I think we've wasted too much time on technical issues. If something goes really, really horribly, badly wrong, then just tell me in chat and I'll try and figure something out. But at this point, I thought Ethernet was going to magically solve all of our issues, but if it's not, then I don't really know what more I can do, to be honest. But never mind. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. This is, we did one of these last year, just over a year ago, when the first album came out. We did a live stream counting down to midnight to the release of the album, and here we are a year later, and we're going to do the same thing. And last time it was really, really good fun. We basically just spent several hours, you guys, in the chat, and just answering questions and stuff, and just generally having a great time. But before anything goes any further, the stream would not be complete if I didn't hello.
Hi, how is it going?
It's going good.
I'm here.
It's good. Welcome.
Good.
I'd like to welcome.
What does the artist have to say?
We were.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wasn't I supposed to?
No, fuck off.
I'm just doing my job.
I'm sorry, but you're not supposed to be in here. This isn't what I pay you for.
He's our special guest for the live stream.
Again.
We'll talk in the morning about this, alright? Honestly, the staff these days, you can't train them for anything anymore. Honestly, it's crazy.
What are you doing here? I'm so confused. Where?
I don't know, man. I just live here.
Why you're not supposed to be here?
Yeah.
What? Anyway, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, everyone. This is a troll.
Okay. Alright. I didn't just mess anything up, did I?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. It's absolutely fine here. We definitely don't have loads of technical difficulties.
Oh, right, okay.
Cool. And now I'm getting a lag from you as well,
yeah,
which is awesome. But that's fine. We're just gonna make things work. So James is joining us remotely today. Last year we were in person, but like on opposite ends of the room. This year we're on opposite ends of the country, so we're really social distancing this time.
Yeah, I know, right?
But anyway, it wouldn't
be. You don't even have to, and we're choosing to.
Exactly, it wouldn't be an album countdown stream without James, because you know he's been in 100% of them so far. So we've got to keep those statistics up. So welcome to the stream. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Also, the smell.
I'm so confused. I'm getting buffer from you as well. I just
Oh no. Okay, this is fun.
This is fine. This is fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's fine. Hello everyone. So okay.
Nothing's on fire.
No. This is all exactly as we planned it. Mishap and everything. So.
Yeah. This is not last minute at all. Never.
No, of course not. Of course not. We would never be so unprofessional.
No, not at all. I mean, like the like 2 frames a second is like an artistic decision.
It's lo-fi, guys.
Just how slow this it's just minimalistic. You know, you don't get that many frame rates. It's because we're going at a minimum here.
Maximum
That's how it
fun.
works.
That is what we strive for the next 49 minutes. Maximum fun, and boy, we're off to a great start.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just seeing opposite ends of the country for you guys is not that far. Calm down. I don't know. My 5-hour car journey would disagree with you. Actually, it's not like, I mean, I'm used to it at this point because I just I travel 5 hours just to go to school at this point. So, you know, 2 frames per second is generous. How many frames was that? Oh my god, I can actually watch again. It just stopped for a while. Oh no, that's not good. Help, I'm still mossing half the things you're saying.
No.
1 second. I'm just gonna try and this might be echoey for you guys. You can hear that on my end fine. I think that's just a you problem, to be honest.
Yeah, not our problem. Not our problem. No, well, hopefully.
Half the thing you. You shouldn't be.
Tiny little English.
Tiny little English country. Sorry, big boy America. How's that war going? Oh wait. Wait, we're involved in that. Fuck, we've got.
Hello, it's me. God, connection problem on your end rather than our end. Then I'm very, very sorry. But I also don't really know how to fix that. I think things seem to be going okay on our end-ish, relatively. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going for now and see what happens.
Yeah.
So why are we here?
Yeah. Unfortunately, because.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to go on a technical rant. It's fine. Go ahead. This is your stream, not mine.
So why are we here? But more in the sense of like, what's this stream for? I mean, I've already said we're counting down to the album, but in case you don't know, which you probably do, the album's coming out midnight UK time, or it's coming out midnight your local time, but it will be out everywhere, like on YouTube and everything, at midnight UK time, which is in 47 minutes because it's going up on YouTube and everything. And I've even scheduled all of it this time, so the videos are all going to come out scheduled, which is very technical of me because normally I don't do any of that sort of stuff. So the rollout should all be okay. So yes, the album is coming out tonight. It's called 19 the Fear. I've been working on it for just over a year, I think. I think the initial ideas. 19 years, yeah. The initial ideas for it started coming about towards the end of the first album process, as is what always happens when I'm working on a project. I always start coming up with ideas for the next project before I've even finished the project that I'm working on, which is a terrible idea, but I can't help myself. Can't wait to hear it. Shut up, UAE time, so... That's just cheating. Yeah, so the initial ideas for the album date back to like July, August last year, I think. And then I've basically just spent all of the last year, actually, it's kind of kept me sane working on it in a weird way because, it's been a funny idea for everyone. So it's been the thing that's kind of kept me productive, and it's kind of allowed me to channel some of the, emotional energy that has kind of, been built up because of certain events, both in my personal life and in the world as a whole. So it's been a really good, like, creative outlet, which, my music always has been for me. But I think this more than ever, it's been a very specific creative outlet about, as a response to very specific events in my life and everything. So it's been really good for me to work on, and it's kind of kept me sane and allowed me to process things in a way that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise. And as always, I am very excited for everyone to hear it, but also, pretty terrified, very, releasing new stuff. It's always scary, like, not to sound like a pretentious, artist or anything, I really don't mean to, but like, it is always pretty scary to like pour a lot of your soul into something and then like release it out into the world for people to hear. That's always fun. But anyway, my point is, I hope you like it, basically. So yeah, I felt since the stream is counting down to the album, I felt that I should probably plug the album, because that's kind of why we're here. So
might be a good idea, yeah.
What about 20 the Fear? 20 the Fear is actually the sequel album that comes out next year, where every song is just Eat the Rich from Flemcore. There's the original Eat the Rich. Yeah. There's the Nightcore version of Eat the Rich. There's the dubstep remix of Eat the Rich, and then there's the version which is just Eat the Rich, but looped on repeat for 27 minutes and bass boosted, so you only have like the distorted bass and nothing else. That's the sequel album, but that's not going to come out until at some point next year. So
Yeah, we spent a long time on it.
yeah. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that one, unfortunately. But it will come out. The visuals buffers. How is it worse than last year? It should not...
I disagree. It's better on my end. It's not as bad. Before, I can see pixels move on this screen. Before I couldn't.
That's progress.
However, possibly it is worse. I don't know. Because it's pretty good Wi-Fi here, so the stream, that's the only place you can do it. So you get what you're given. But
so the place that I'm doing it, the
this
Wi-Fi...
is probably the best we can get.
Yeah. The place I'm doing it, the Wi-Fi is better than it is at my house. If I tried to do it at my house, it would be far worse. But everyone, I was
But
told...
we've done it at yours before. We've done it at your house. Oh, hello?
Yeah, no, carry on.
Okay. Like, when we did it at yours before, at least, like, pretty much.
Yeah.
For everyone at home. But, like, when we did it at yours, like, the streams that we did, they were at least, like, a video. Right?
My recollection is, and this may not be entirely correct, but my recollection is that you're right, and the video was better when we did some of the previous streams, and, like, losing signal completely. So we would just have random gaps for, like, 5-10 minutes or something. In 4 days' time, I am moving. I'm moving to London, and I'm gonna have a new house or a new flat. And obviously, I have no idea what the Wi-Fi is going to be like, but hopefully, it will be better than what I've had to deal with here. So hopefully, any future streams, fingers crossed, won't have these same issues, or will possibly have different issues instead. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Eat the rich Nightcore, my beloved.
That's a possibility.
At this end, it's definitely worse. Just keep doing your
I'll just
thing.
say, I will just say as well, that, like, tangent from things should be better was buffering for me. But someone Sloan just said London, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So we should have got that through. I think that's just I'm in my uni house at the moment, which is very exciting, and I just moved in. So
it looks so
I'm currently
nice.
working on a skeleton setup. I'm currently on a laptop. Oh, it's great. I'll definitely have to do a house tour, but right now I physically can't because I think that the Wi-Fi might just moving in with me. Yes.
Yeah, no, London is
London, we beloved.
I've had my heart set on London for a very, very long time. Like even before COVID, when I was going in a completely different life direction, I was still only ever like looking at studying in London and living in London. It's just, I'm just completely in love with the city, and especially, after being, I guess, deprived of it for so long, because I used to go to London like really frequently, actually, like just before COVID hit. And then I went like 16 months without going there, and every month that I was away, I just couldn't wait to go back. And luckily I got to go back a couple of weeks ago to see my new house, to see the place where I'm going to be living. But yeah, I'm very excited to be there and to be studying there and just to be living there. It's going to be a whole new chapter of life so it's very exciting. Yeah, it's suddenly come around. I can't believe it's only 4 days away. But
also, ironically, as well, you're going to be easier for me to get to than where were living before. Even though like the distance is, it's going to be easier for me to actually visit.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one of the many amazing things about London, which is that you can literally anywhere, like everywhere, from anywhere you can get to London, and you can get to anywhere from London. So it's going to be so much easier for us to, travel up and down and see each other. So expect content.
Like, and what, 2 hours? Even though the distance is literally 50 times that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it because we haven't really in person seen loads of each other, obviously over COVID. I mean, actually, you know, I think we've done pretty well with seeing each other and meeting up and everything. But it's going to be so much easier once I'm in the city. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Putting the stream on the TV now, so me and Daniel can watch it. Or any improvement? I'm still seeing a lot of reds and yellows.
Much better.
But apparently not.
It's not as easy as that.
No. Anyway, let's just pray that the London
still,
house Wi-Fi is better.
I think the audio is what counts.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure just from watching the live stream, working perfectly fine. So that's the main bit that everyone comes to see.
I would much rather have terrible
I like
video.
how
Hold on, what was that?
Yeah.
I
how the fit is matching the album colours. Very sexy.
Hell yeah, it is the yellow and the sort of lavendery, lilac-y, purpley type colours. They were always kind of the album colours from day one, to be honest. Yeah, and I spent ages, like, this is when I was still in the quite early stages of working on the album. I spent ages searching for, because I knew I had the yellow the Arcade Fire t-shirt that I also wore for the first album, actually, just with a different jacket. And I had that, and I was like, okay, the album's yellow and purple. I know the album's yellow and purple. So I spent ages trying to find like a purple denim jacket or something. I literally, of all the places, I finally found the perfect jacket on eBay. Of all places, like I would never buy clothes from eBay. Like, that just does not seem like a sensible thing to do. But I just found this, and it was like 11 quid. I was like, there's no way it's going to turn up. It's going to look awful, right? But I was like, it's only 11 quid. You know, it's worth the risk. Turns out from eBay, absolutely perfect color. Got the nice little where are they? Like the nice little rips and things wherever. There they are. Like there's those sort of details. Like just absolutely perfect. Exactly what I was looking for from eBay of all places. Your mum's watching. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry the frame rate's so bad with the jacket, and now I just wear it all the time because I love it. It's one of my favorite items of clothing at the moment. It's very cool. I don't remember where that tangent came from.
Very stylish.
Oh well, thank you.
Also, slightly Fictioneers vibe as well.
That could potentially, we had the sort of pink and grey type aesthetic for the Fictioneers album, which, by the way, if any of you haven't heard All My Sons and Daughters by Fictioneers, it's an album. It's an album. It's an album that myself and Dixie, who is in the chat right now, we made together, which was kind of the years worth of like planning songs and kind of working on songs and recreating older songs.
I remember the digital the title for like going a while back. The working title that wasn't Fictioneers.
No, it wasn't Fictioneers. No, we started talking about.
We always very different.
Yeah, we were always kind of talking about doing something together at some point. But we started like seriously talking about it, like literally just before COVID hit. So then obviously that kind of put a delay to things. But once we were able to see each other in person again, the ideas just like so many ideas just started coming. We got so much work in, and basically created the whole album in the space of like a couple of months. But a lot of the ideas that work was started on had kind of been in the works for years. So I'm so glad that we finally managed to produce that and to get that out in the world. And we don't need to talk about the working title. I agree. So yeah, if you guys haven't heard that, I definitely recommend listening to that. It's on Spotify and everything. The band is called Fictioneers, and the album is All My Sons and Daughters. If any of you haven't listened to that, I think it's a really good album and I really like it. So if any of you want to go listen to that, Not right now though. Stay at the stream now. You can listen to it later.
I can play one of the songs right now as well on this guitar that hasn't been tuned in 5 months. And that's what we're getting.
That is so. I mean this in the least offensive way possible, but that is so out of tune that I genuinely cannot tell what song that is, and I literally made the album.
It's fine. It's not my guitar. That is my friend's guitar, which was kept in storage for him at my grandparents' since he left in June. He went back to Italy, and he was guitar now. I don't know where he got it from or how much it was, but it plays like a £5 toy guitar.
Nice.
So that probably helped.
Do you know, weirdly, I actually have a similar story, right?
Oh, 1 second. I need to be a... Oh, yeah?
All good? Everything all right?
Oh. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, you just sounded like you were having a stroke for a second.
Oh, no. How's everyone?
Oh, uh-oh. You're having a stroke.
What's going on with... Wait, something going on with the audio?
Okay, it was like going really slow for a second. It's back now, though.
Okay, my laptop fan just started going crazy, so that might have had something to do with it.
Maybe, but
I don't
yeah.
know. Are we okay now, though? Are we alright now?
Dixie's just asked, tell us the concept. Yeah. Dixie's just asked us to talk about the love concept of the new album.
The love concept. Stop promoting the You've Done Your Juice. I will keep promoting Fictioneers for as long as I can. Tell us about the concept of your new album. Oh man. Okay. So 19 of Fear is like...
Yeah, signal's fine on our end. Must be on their sides.
Are we good? Sorry, Sloan. This is not how this is supposed to go,
Yeah,
but it's
we're
fine. We vibe. So basically, like, 19 of Fear is like very much a concept album, way more than anything else that I've. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Way more than anything else that I've ever done before. Like, Sport by Earthrun. Hello. Sport by Earthrun was like in some ways a concept EP. There were a lot of like linking themes, sort of repeated like throughout the songs. I'll Be a Tragedy kind of took that a step further, and that was a bit more of a concept EP. It kind of really had some themes going on, and all the songs kind of linked together. And then the self-titled album was a lot more like, it was less conceptual. There were definitely, there were definitely links throughout it. Very much like a go anywhere, try anything, like do anything album. I wanted it to be like really eclectic, loads of different genres, loads of different inspirations and styles, and blending all sorts of stuff, which I think it achieved, because basically every song sounds like a totally different thing. Whereas this one is so much more conceptual and I guess coherent. Not that I would say the first album wasn't coherent, because I did make an effort to kind of make sure everything flowed together. But the second album is a lot more, kind of one body of work, as opposed to lots of different songs doing lots of different things. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this album all sounds the same or whatever, but like, there are definitely a lot of sonic kind of links and themes, which you might not necessarily think from like the two singles that have been released, because one of them was kind of a sort of slightly aggro rock song, and then the other one's sort of like atmospheric synthy pop song. But anyway, the concept... The reason I say it's a lot more of a concept album is because this time there is actually like a story to it. Not in the sense of like the songs are saying like, this was a thing that happened, and then this happened next in the story, and then this happened, and this happened. But like with this one, when I was creating this album, I literally created a world and a whole setting and characters within that setting and within the storyline of the album. And it's so like it is still very much like autobiographical as all my music is, but this time it's a lot more like fictional and kind of taking those actual experiences and like crafting them into a story and like a fictional world that I've created. And you know, as I was creating this the album and the world, I actually put like quite a lot of world building into it, which I've never really done with anything before. Like even when I used to write a lot of stories as a kid. Like before I even got into music, I used to sort of thing. I used to want to be an author when I was a kid, but even then, I never really did any kind of actual world building because I didn't have the attention span to. So this was the first time that I've actually like created a world and created a setting and put actual thought and effort into it. And you know, I could tell you like in about the character's experiences there. And I think, I don't know, I think to begin with, I kind of want the music to kind of speak for itself, and I don't want to force any like interpretations onto people, because I want the music, if you have any, you know, if you have interest in the music, which, you know, if anyone has any thing to me anyway, and that means the world to me anyway, but like if you have interest in the music, I want you to be able to like form your own interpretations, and I want it to mean whatever it means to you. Like I know what it means to me, but the story is like abstract enough in the interpreted it. Does that make any sense, or is that just like words? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
I mean, coming from someone that knows exactly what the
Itself, if the music doesn't stand on its own without knowing the ins and outs of the story, then you know I haven't succeeded in making a coherent album. So I just want the music to kind of speak for itself to begin with.
Oh no, buffering is apparently really bad. And I'm getting. Oh no.
All my homies hate buffering. Yeah.
James just said, coming from someone who understands.
What? That was years ago.
Oh, apparently it's back.
What,
Is it back?
the buffering or the stream? Kind of.
Okay, turtle. Turtle?
Yep, put some turtles in the chat. Can we get... I'm really mad about this. I thought that that Ethernet cable would like solve all of our issues.
Hmm. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is we're on about 30 seconds buffer time.
Oh no.
Okay, 40 seconds. Okay. 40-second delay. We've got people back. Alright. It's not as bad as we thought.
I'm wondering. But then I also don't want to mess up the stream by unplugging the Ethernet.
I mean, you can certainly try. If you want to try, you can try. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm still here.
Okay.
On my chat,
Alright.
I'm first turtle. I mean, look, it's fine. 40-second delay. It's fine. We can work with it. We're not professional streamers. This was never gonna be perfect. I would die on this hill first turtle. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Mia, but Dixie's the first turtle
Dixie,
on my
yeah.
chat
Dixie
as
is
well.
first turtle.
I'm wondering.
Then it cut out. Oh dear. That was a while ago.
Okay, James, can you keep them entertained for like 1 minute?
Yes.
I'm just gonna go and check something. I'll be back in a second.
Uh-oh. Okay. So, anyway, here's Wonderwall. Today's gonna be the day, that's what we're gonna do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Lately, the words on the street that we guys going tied down. Oh, I'm getting a call. 1 second. What's this from Dixie Scholar? I wonder who the hell this is. Hello?
I miss you.
You miss me?
I miss you. Come back to bed.
Oh, I'm a bit far away from bed at the moment, honey.
I've been thinking about you a lot.
It's quite a toxic thing to think about, you know.
What, you?
Yeah, you know.
So, when's Encore 2 coming out? It says album 2. Looks like 3.
Oh gosh. It's a beautiful guitar. Oh no! Did you start?
Yeah,
did you
no,
start
we've
playing
been,
Wonderwall?
No?
I just open up the chat and I just immediately see today's gonna be the day. Guessed.
Who knows?
Should I be concerned? Okie doke, right. Well, look, we've made it through 45 minutes. We can make it through another 15. I believe in us. Dixie interrupted Wonderwall. Oh! Okay, cool. I was expecting nothing happened but Wonderwall. Guys, I was gone like a minute. How badly did you mess this up?
This is so out of tune. My god. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna whip out the old boy. This is my first guitar in this one. Anything else in between? I haven't played this one in a very long time because I got a replacement guitar, but currently I don't have it. On my screen, by the way, Isaac, you just left. So we're very far behind.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
That's like...
Oh, wait. That's not too out of tune. Oh, it's out of tune. But considering it's been sat in a case for 4 months, that's not bad.
Could be a lot worse, yeah. Rising guitars. Yes, you have a question. Yes, that's what we need. We need some questions. What's your question, Sloan?
Okay, we've got 40 seconds.
Oh no. The delay's so
Fine visually
bad.
for me, I think that's just you. Oh, really? Got a fine visual.
See, everyone's reporting like different states
Apparently,
of...
you're fine on Sloane's end.
Yeah, everyone's reporting completely different things, and now I don't know what to believe.
Question: how long is your hair?
Gonna have to wait 40 seconds each way for a response. Okay, how about if anyone has a question, post them now, and then by the time I've finished answering one question, I'll already have the next question 40 seconds later. How How long is my hair not tied back? About that long. Like that longish? Maybe? Not as long as James's. How long have you been growing your hair? Like, when was the last time you got it cut?
Nowhere near as long as. I technically had it cut in April. No, May technically, but it was just a trim to get a like sort of fade going.
I remember, yeah.
My last full haircut was just before my birthday party in March 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a while ago. That's about as long as mine, because my last haircut was just before my birthday in February 2020. Wow. It's been a while.
Mm. Yeah. The thing is, though, with mine is...
Like, you remember, like, end of February when I did, like, the college musical and that sort of thing. If you look back at those photos, like, how short my hair is. It's literally, like, a buzz cut and then a tiny little quiff. It's so weird to look back on. It's at a really awkward length right now, where it looks like just really bad down. I really like it, like, tied back at the moment, but I really don't like it down at the moment, so... Not in this stream, I don't think. But maybe when it's a bit longer. At deep questions allowed. What does that mean? Are deep questions allowed? Yes! Hell yeah! We got onto some pretty deep stuff last year, didn't we? That was good fun.
Oh, good God, did we? Yeah.
I don't even remember what, but I just remember getting into some deep stuff. How are you? James, why don't you take this one? How are you?
I mean, I am like at least 65% sure I'm not depressed anymore. Yes. Which is very nice.
Those are some good statistics.
I've basically... Yeah, I've pretty much turned my life around over the last year since the last live stream. I've bettered myself. I'm not as socially awkward. I've still got a couple mental health issues, but overall I'm a much more independent, confident, and more comfortably expressive person, which I put completely down to my decision to keep going with university despite the lockdowns, and just kind of continuing on with my life past adolescence. I'm basically in probably the best situation I've been in my entire life right now. Not everything's great, and I didn't have things happen to me in the past that still affect me today to some extent. But yeah, overall, I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty much up and up for me. But we'll see what happens. Definitely, I've made some good decisions recently which help, and yeah, I'm just kind of living as good a life as I can right now.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about this so many times before, but from my sort of outsider's perspective, it's just been so amazing to see, like, you go off to uni and just completely come out of your shell and just return almost a completely different person, you know, in the best way possible. Like, you've just grown so much over the last year, despite all the restrictions and despite everything that stopped you. I feel like you've really gone out there into the world and, you know, really made the most of it, and it's been amazing to see.
Yeah, like a year ago, I would not be able to go. I got a response back. I wouldn't be able to do that ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing. I love that. What was the question?
How are you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how James is. I'm all right. I'm all right as well. I haven't really because I've been at home this year. I haven't really had the chance to go through that amazing character development that you've gone through. But hopefully it's coming up. I've definitely gone through some character development anyway. I spent a lot of lockdown, a lot of COVID, not doing particularly great, let's say. But in recent couple of months, like as things have started to get better, kind of in the world and in my personal life, and as I've got closer and closer to uni, and and one of the upsides of this year is that I've had like so much time myself, which is the fact that I've been alone so much has been one of the bad things about this year, but also I've had so much time to like be with myself. I know that probably sounds weird, but like I've had so much time just to like not talk to myself, but like to kind of understand myself more and come to terms with being myself, if that makes any sense, because there's been nobody else around me. So I've just kind of and got used to like living with the person inside my head. And I think I've had a lot of time to think about like who I am and who I want to be going forwards, and how I want to live my life, which in some ways has been a really good thing. And I think there have been some really positive changes, a lot of which haven't had the chance to materialize themselves because I haven't really been a member of society this year. But I think now, once I go off to uni, once I go off to London, I feel like I'm a very different person, and I feel like the character development that I'm now going to go through will be very different as a result. And I'm really looking forward to see kind of how that changes me as a person, and who I become. So I'm all right at the moment, actually. Yeah, I've been a lot worse. I'm just really looking forward to this next chapter, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, the album comes out.
Part of the plan.
Yeah, it's gone by quick, but we'll definitely hang around after midnight and answer these questions for sure. So we had How Are You? So the next question is from Dixie. My favourite songs are Can't Out With Elsie, Lights Out and Immortalised. They kind of have the similar dark synth, desperate vocal style with big songs. Do you think are similar with new songs? So yeah, so I guess kind of which new songs...
I can comment.
Which new songs kind of have that sort of style? The first one I would probably point to is The Fear, which is track 8. That's definitely got the sort of big finale type feel to it. It's less synthy, but I would also say Hear Me Out definitely has the kind of indie rock type thing, desperate vocals, especially towards the end. It goes into this kind of big, it gradually kind of builds and builds and builds over the course of the song and goes into this big coda at the end. Those would probably be the two that would immediately jump out, going into that sort of genre. But I've tried a lot of new things on this album as well. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't really done before, so hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised by some new things, as well as the sort of classic Y. Isaac flavour, if you will. So Mia asks, what is your entire... James, do you want to give this one a go?
Oh dear. Life has only got as much meaning as you give it. We exist just to exist, but the human mind has such a huge capacity to be able to express its own individual parts that we as people, as individuals, are the only ones that can bring life meaning. And without individuality, we are nothing but animals. But the thing that separates us from animals is our abilities and our inner personalities, and creating all of these wild, vibrant things that we can enjoy and release to other people. And I guess the best way to express yourself is to share it with other people. So that's my perspective of life.
Yeah, that...
Oh yeah, I've thought about this way too fucking much.
I have to agree. That's really awesome. I guess my my answer would be my entire perspective of life has changed a lot over the years, but especially since lockdown. And again, this is one of the kind of positive changes that's come from my 17 months of being basically alone in my bedroom. I was starting to get to this kind of mentality before lockdown, and then it was kind of postponed for a while. But I'm definitely there now. My entire perspective of life is basically that. How do I phrase this without it sounding cliche? Like, you know, the reality is that you only get one shot, and it is ultimately finite. And my perspective is that you should just live your life, not care about what other people think. I know that sounds really cliche, but like literally I could die at any point. Why am I caring what random people on the street think about? Oh, are we good?
Album is out now.
Yeah!
So for them it was 30 seconds ago.
Yes, 30 seconds ago, because of the delay. Here we go. Well, yeah. Well, welcome to the 1st of September. 19 the Fear. Let me crack open the Pepsi Max to celebrate.
I've had the Italian wine open for quite a while now. My sons and daughters.
Oh, my sons and daughters. Happy 1st of September, everyone. 19 the Fear is out now. Wow, that's weird. But also we're going to hang around a while longer and answer some of these questions because you guys have gone to the effort of putting these questions in the chat. So we're going to answer every single one of them. Is that all good with you, James? You're not in any particular rush?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
If anyone needs to go to bed or whatever, I know it's pretty late for some of you guys. That's awesome. But if you want to stick around, then we're going to keep answering these questions. So, I know it sounds like really basic and really like fundamental life lesson, but like as someone who struggled with worried about being judged for a long time, I finally got to the point where it's literally like, you know, I could literally die at any minute. Why am I caring? I am just going to be who I want to be and how I want to be perceived, you know? And that it took me way too long to learn is that literally cares about what you look like or anything like that because they're all far too busy worrying about themselves being judged by other people to actually judge other people. So most people are not actually judgmental, and if anyone is judging you based on something as shallow as what you look like externally, then they are not the kind of people I want to associate myself with anyway. So that's kind of a lesson that took me way too long to learn, but it is very important to me. So I'm now going to start this new chapter of my life being exactly who I want to be, not caring what anyone else thinks about it, because I was limited for so long, but by myself, you know, by my own head. But I was so limited for so long because I was too scared to be who I knew I wanted to be. But I don't care anymore. So here we are. So my perspective on life is, as cliche as it sounds, be yourself, don't care about what other people think, live in the moment is something that's really important to me because there are so many things pre-COVID that I just really took for granted, and they were the things that I just, you know, the things that I took for granted and things that then over COVID, when I was deprived of them, ended up being some of the things that I missed the most. So now going forwards, when I can start doing these things again, I just want to make the most of every second of it, and you know, not just take it as a given. Yeah. So live in the moment. Live your best life because you never know when it could end. Frankly, that's kind of my perspective on life at the moment. This album is already such a vibe. I approve. Thank you, Mia. James, would you mind entertaining people for another 1 second?
Yes.
I'm just gonna take a bite. All right.
Okay, I need a bathroom break as well, but I'll be willing to entertain the crowd while you're gone.
Okay, and then I'll entertain them in a sec when you go to the bathroom. Right, I'll be 1 sec.
Awesome. Got it. So, turtles, am I right, guys? It's awesome. Good to hear. I heard it like a couple hours ago because I get early access to Steam games. Oh no. Yeah?
I'm supposed to sleep when they're not by my side.
I don't know what to tell you, hun, but, fucking cope. Oh,
Were you trying to see my face? You're trying to expose me.
I don't know. Those are some nice ukuleles on the wall.
Yeah, you own half of them.
Yeah, I mean, I claimed them by shoving them up my arse like 5 years ago, so they're mine now.
Yeah, that's how it works in our
Yeah.
polyamorous, communist,
Mm.
anarcho, catboy.
Yeah.
Commie.
Yeah.
That's how it is in that.
That's how mafia works, you know.
It's almost as though you could say that's how mafia works.
You could.
And I see your face. I mean, it's just you on the stream. It says Album 2 launch live stream. When is Flemcore 2? Stop letting your fans down. You have an obligation. If you expect.
I hath returned.
Do you guys remember these old live streams with my just this acoustic Spanish guitar? Yeah, this is old ENT Productions, isn't it? When he used to just know Green by Cave Town. Oh, is that the infamous Why Isaac back?
Hello, I'm here. There's some technical issues are so
Yeah,
bad.
alright.
Never mind.
I think he's yeah. You're back in the room. All right,
We're
now
back.
I need to pee. Back in a moment.
Go for it. I will try and entertain people. I'm going to see if there are any questions aimed just at me rather than both of us, so I can answer them now. Oh, there's so many questions. This is brilliant. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry there's such a delay in answering them. Let's see. What is the relevance of the yellow-purple aesthetic to the narrative in 19 The Fear? Now that is a good question. So I always knew kind of from the beginning that I wanted the colors to be yellow and purple because I just thought it was a great color combination that I'd never really seen used before. But the relevance to the narrative is there's a lot of sunset kind of themes in this album, which I've definitely flirted with a bit before. But there's a lot of sunset and a lot of nighttime, and a lot of the story is kind of set kind of around sunset or nighttime. So the yellow is there's basically half the album is like sunset songs and half the album is nighttime songs. I don't necessarily mean lyrically, just in terms of like how I imagine in my head. Like some of them are kind of set to the setting of the sunset, and some of them are kind of set to nighttime. I always like music in my head is always either daytime music or nighttime music, whether that's individual songs or albums or I don't know. I just always associate music with either the night or the day. So the yellow is kind of the sunset songs, and the purple is kind of the nighttime songs. But originally it was just because I liked yellow and purple. And I just thought it was a cool color combination, especially this kind of lavendery type color. Hello, James. I was just answering a question from Dixie about the album.
Wow, that's really far behind. I came back a minute ago on my side.
Oh no, I saw you a few seconds before. I just wanted to finish my point.
Okay.
So we have so many questions now, which is awesome. So the next one is, what person in your life are you most proud of? Ooh.
Oh no, who wants to go first?
I'm just trying to figure out whether... Hello? Yeah, we're good. Are we alright?
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, we're good. I didn't expect there to be such a delay with the Zoom as well as the stream. I expected stream delay. It still makes a big difference though. Anyway, it's fine. Okay. I'll do a serious soppy answer to this question. There are lots of people that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of very proud of I'm gonna do the soppy answer, partially because of what we were just talking about and how much progress that you've made this last year in particular, but also like even before that, like since we've known each other and it's been a roller coaster, a
little bit, yeah.
There's been some ups and some downs, which we don't need to get into, but I just think the fact that you've kind of not only kind of pulled through the worst times, but also kind of been able to, I don't know, like there are still difficult things now, but just the amount of progress that you've than you have been, when I have known you, be able to get out of that and make so much progress as a person. And I don't just mean in the last year, especially the last year has been incredible, but even before that, it's just been amazing to see, and I love you lots, and I'm very proud of you. So there you go. That's my soppy answer.
No. My turn. Exact same thing for you. You've managed to come out of some of the more challenging, been able to understand where you've been, and the fact that you're coming out now and completely ready to reinvent yourself in so many positive ways, and continuing your artistic projects, which are immaculate, and just continuing to just improve as a person, but also as an artist and creator. It's just been amazing to see as well. But I feel like that's a point, and everyone can agree with me in chat. You've developed so much from the SoundCloud EPs that no one saw, to Spotted Boy Earthrun, I'll Be a Tragedy, 27, all the way to self-titled, and now 19 The Fear. It's just all continuously, you've just continued onwards despite what's been going on, and you've been using it as a catalyst in such a positive way that is amazing.
Aww.
But I just want to shout, like, I do not want to attract from your amazing progress, but I kind of just want to shout out one of our mutual friends that we haven't seen in a long time, at least in person together, but recently I met up with her in London as well, and she has come such a long way from such a bottomless pit that even she didn't think that she could make her way out of. She's managed to, against all odds, push on and really make a better life for herself. And I know that you haven't actually seen her since she's gone through this. The last time you saw her back before lockdown.
Yeah.
But she's made such huge progress. I don't know. I don't think she's on now, but I'm so proud of where she's gone as well, and the person that she's managed to reinvent herself as well. And it's just been nice to see friends go on to be better than they thought they'd be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've heard about that, and it's been absolutely amazing to hear. And hopefully, I'll be able to see her at some point once I'm in London, because we'll be, pretty close to each other geographically. So that'll be awesome. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? How so many people, so many people close to me, and I would imagine you've had the same experience, have managed to make so much progress over the last year and a half, despite all the challenges. Like, you would think that a lot of people would just kind of retreat into themselves and, end up in sort of some dark places. But to be able to, pull through that and become so much better as people, like to manage to improve themselves so much and become so much happier with themselves, despite everything that we've had going on in the world and in our lives for the last year and a half. It's just, it's just been incredible, really incredible to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
There we go. Sappy emotional
Are we on
answers.
to the next question?
Yep, let me just scroll all the way back up.
Worst book you've ever read?
I got to be honest, I'm actually not much of a reader. I used to read like all the time when I was a kid. I was really like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I actually wanted to be an author for a while when I was a kid. Like, I used to read books all the time, and that was before I discovered computers, and that kind of took things in a very different direction. Really not a reader nowadays. I've tried really hard to read more over lockdown because I've had the time to, but it just hasn't happened. So I want to get back into reading. I really do, because I know it's such a great thing. But I just never really got into it. I spend so much time listening to music, but yeah, reading never really been my forte in recent years. So I don't know. How about you?
You see, the thing is with me is it's very hard to, because I'm a history student now. Books as just fiction now. I view books as an academic thing as well. So technically, it would have to be, even though I don't think it's just the worst because it's been the most boring to read, is The Inheritance of Rome by Chris Wickham. And that's just because of how plain boring reading about history can be sometimes. Book, and has served as the basis for my coursework. But at the same time, it's really dry because it's supposed to be. So for me, a worst book is kind of really hard,
No, that makes sense though, and you can definitely get sick of books, just from studying them. I've definitely had some experiences where studying a book or a play or something has made it like a lot worse for me. But then other experiences where studying a text has made it a lot better for me and made me understand and enjoy it a lot more, like Hamlet, for example. I love Hamlet. I don't know why I took English literature as an A-level, considering I literally am not a reader at all. But anyway, that was a thing, and we did it.
I mean, I'm glad you did, because you sat next to me for the entire year.
I mean, it was a great time. I loved it. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't do very much reading. I was not a very good literature student.
I remember
parents aren't watching this. No, there's only 3 viewers. It's fine. I was talking with my friend about this the other day. I think we calculated that I literally only read about half of our literature texts. Most of them I just improv'd using online notes or something, or just made it up. I didn't even read the book that I wrote about in my coursework. Like, I was such a bad literature student, but I still got an A because I was good at the writing part, so it all worked out fine in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
A succession of questions. Oh, what are your favorite TV shows right now? Do you want to take this one?
Uh-oh. All right. I mean, there are so many good shows. Right now, the one that I'm watching the most is Doctor Who. But yeah, okay, screw it. I feel like Doctor Who has just been such a huge part of my, as I'm aware. But recently, I've been rewatching it because the thing is, I watched every single episode for a very long time live, which meant that I didn't rewatch them because I saw them live and I didn't have the DVDs to rewatch them. So recently I've been rewatching them and going through. Currently I'm just at the end of the RTD era, going into the Moffat era of the show. So I'm interested to see how much that holds up. But yeah, the thing is, I don't really watch that many shows because I don't have a lot of time anymore on my hands. I'm very busy, which means that any time that I do get to watch shows is I need to make it count. So currently Doctor Who, but also if it counts as the same thing, I feel like it shouldn't count as the same thing. But I've also been getting into the classic series of Doctor Who, which I'm really excited for because once I get an actual DVD player in a couple weeks, I'm going to be watching a lot of these classic series DVDs that I've got. But yeah.
Hell yeah. They're so good. They're so good. So
I mean, you know, you watched them all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, in terms of favorite TV shows right now, I am not, because I spent so much of lockdown watching the classic series from 1963 to 1989, which is like 690 episodes or present day. So after that, I was just like, okay, I've had enough. I'm not watching TV shows now until I move to uni. Because there were a bunch of films that I wanted to watch. So I just ended up watching a bunch of films for a couple of months. And now I'm not really watching anything at all. In my free time, I've been playing a lot of like Mario Odyssey and a couple other Switch games and that sort of thing. So my favorite TV shows right now are just Doctor Who because it's all I've watched really for the last year. You know, I watched a couple of miniseries and things. You know, I watched like The Queen's Gambit and whatever else I've watched this year. I don't know, but I definitely recommend Classic Who. It's not exactly accessible. Like, accessible is not a word I would use to describe it, but it's so good. And if, like me, you randomly had like a whole year to dedicate to it, then, you know, watching from start to finish, it's a great time. It's yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, it's very good. And then there are a couple of more favorites. Oh, hold on, Isaac, when are you going to watch Game of Thrones? That actually ties into what I was just saying. I don't know exactly when, but probably at some point when I'm at uni. Because once I'm at uni, I'm allowing myself to start watching TV shows again. I just didn't want to get sucked into committing to anything before leaving for uni because there were so many films and things I wanted to watch. But probably at some point over the next 3 years.
All I'll say is I watched in a weekend there are two series of this show on Amazon called The Boys, and I watched that in a weekend at uni. You do nothing.
3 days of actual lectures and things, and then like my other 2 weekdays and 2 weekend days, I don't have anything outside of the lectures, but I reckon I'll have plenty of free time to do that sort of thing as well. I am looking forward to watching Game of Thrones though, because, you know, I've heard it's amazing and everything, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I finally get around to it. There's a couple of quickfire favorites questions. So, James, there's 4 of these. No, 5 of 6. Okay, there's 6 of them. James, we're going to do quickfire. Except I'm not going to do one at a time because the lag will make that not work. So, favorite film, favorite album, favorite song, favorite animated film, favorite brand of butter, favorite brand of not butter.
Okay, Yeah. So favorite film, Hot Fuzz. Favorite album, Reflector, Arcade Fire. Favorite song, Reflector, Arcade Fire. Favorite animated film, Ratatouille. Favorite band of butter, Lurpak. Favorite brand of not butter, I can't believe it's not butter.
Awesome. Well, that was very quick fire. Where are the questions? My favourite film is Boyhood. My favourite album is The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. My favourite song... What is my favourite animated film? I'll have to think about that one. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my letterbox or something. My favourite brand of butter is I don't like butter. And my favourite... I'll have to think about that. I love... If we're talking like animated, like, you know, Disney Pixar type stuff, I love Up. Like, you can't go wrong with Up. That film just has so much like heart and soul. And talking of soul, I really enjoyed Soul, actually. That was a very good one. Favorite animated film? I remember Your Name being really good, if like anime films kind of count. Yeah, that's probably my answer. Oh, what's worse? Fear Her or Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, and why?
Oh,
that is
hard question.
I know my answer.
Hard question.
I know they're both 4 out of 10 for me, which is like the lowest rating I've given to anything pre-Chibnall era. But for me, Fear Her is watching it because I can laugh at it. Like, it's fun for the wrong reasons, but at least I can enjoy laughing at it, whereas Fear Her, I find very little to even enjoy, aside from the whole, like, you're taking the council X from a council van, you know, the council guy meme. But, like, at least Journey to the Center of the TARDIS I can laugh at. So I would say Fear Her is slightly worse, but, you know, both pretty terrible.
Bob, not you too, Bob.
Smooth like butter.
Yeah, Fear Her is worse for me as well.
What are you, a psychopath? We're so far behind with the questions. Right, more questions. Oh, James. Worst interaction you've ever had with another human being?
Oh, Jesus. Worst interaction. I have to think about this one. Worst interaction. If it has to be in person, there was this time at the start of uni where kitchen, and I didn't know who he was, and he came with a like posse of people, and basically for like 20 minutes I was too awkward to leave, but I was also too awkward to talk properly. After that kind of like awkward, I don't know where the hell I am kind of feeling, I was fine. But that was probably the most daunting experience of my life, because up until that point I hadn't spoken to anyone in a year, pretty much. And then just suddenly there was this random guy that had like 3 of his friends in my kitchen, unsolicited. I mean, it wasn't unsolicited because he was like a friend of one of my flatmates, but I didn't really know my flatmates at that point. So that was probably the worst human interaction in person that I've had. At least interaction wise, like, it felt incredibly uncomfortable. Online is a different story, because I may as well just say any stranger that I met that was somewhat hostile. But yeah, that's probably the worst interaction that I've had, at least that I can remember, that's like post-secondary school, because I feel like because you aren't really a human being at that point.
Indeed. Huh. I don't know.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. 'Cause it's interesting that you say about like secondary school as well, because my immediate instinct is to just think of every single awkward interaction I had when I was a secondary school student, of which there were, you know, rather a few. I can't think of any specific incident. Actually, no. I think the worst interaction that I've ever had.
Production stands. And yeah, that's my shout out of the evening.
It's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to seeing the fully edited version. Actually,
Ooh. Do you want me to answer first, or
yeah,
you?
go for it.
Okay, because I've had a lot of really memorable, wholesome interactions. That's the thing. So around about the time that lockdown was ending, I was still super awkward at this point, and I kind of, following from my worst interaction, I kind of followed that posse for a little bit, like just for like 10 or 20 minutes, not sure what to do in a setting. And I was about a couple seconds away from leaving before this random girl who I'd never met before just came up and was just like, "Oh, hey, I really love your hair." And that kind of really just filled me of just what's the word? Kind of self-validation that I needed to be like, hey, I can actually socialize with people. And so whilst I didn't actually speak to anyone else at that place, I just remember just talking to her for literally hours and just kind of just speaking about things, really. After that, I maybe met her once or twice before never really meeting her again, but talking to people again, which was really an eye-opener for me because I didn't know that I could actually do that in that kind of setting. So I kind of have to put that, but there is kind of one that does trump that, and that's when I met all of together, and that was when they were playing ABBA next door to me in the kitchen, and I was incredibly nervous about actually meeting them at this point because although I was working on it, I was still really socially awkward. And basically, I thought for a second of what would get me to properly be able to talk to them. And then that's when I remembered I have a horse mask under my bed. So I decided to put the horse mask on, go to the kitchen, knock on the door, and they let me in. And I basically just started dancing with the horse mask on to Dancing Queen. And then I basically met some of the best friends of my life. So yeah, those are the two most wholesome moments of my life, probably, with someone else.
You know, from being away at uni and everything, I don't know, I literally can't think of anything. Mainly just because there hasn't been anything recently, I guess. But I don't know. I can't think of a wholesome moment or a particularly awkward moment. Only an iconic uni moment. Oh,
he was there.
Good night. Good night. Thank you very. It really means a lot that you came, and I really hope you like the album as well. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. So sleep well. Cool. We're normal again. We have. Just got to scroll back up. Oh, James, you can answer this one because I don't have an answer to this one.
Okay.
What's your favorite Fallout game?
Oh, Fallout New Vegas. Continue.
Cool.
It's the best one objectively, and I don't say that very often. It's objectively the best one. Not as much as I used to be. I used to play a lot of video games, but recently, although I've got a really powerful computer, I don't really have the time to put in a lot of time. I played a fair bit of Destiny 2 recently with my friend and also fellow streamer Easmo, who I played a little bit of Apex Legends with if you remember correctly, all of the ENT_Gammon stands out there. But yeah, I've kind of not really had a lot of time to play a lot of video games as much as it pains me to say, but I am getting back into the swing of things. And as you know, Isaac, I recently bought Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Which I am playing pretty much every single day. It's kind of become a slight bit of an obsession for me. I'm really loving it. But I am planning on kind of reintegrating myself into the gaming community in a lot of ways. I'm getting my PlayStation 4 back on Sunday, and I've got a couple games to play on that as well. So I'm at the moment, but I'm planning on getting back in to it. Pretty much is my answer to that. So I'm a semi-retired Epic gamer. An Epic gamer.
Nice. As for me, I would say the answer is a resounding no. I've never really been a gamer in any way, really. Aside from, I've always been really into like Pokemon games for quite a few years. That was like the one gaming franchise that I actually got really into, and then kind of nothing else. But recently, I've kind of started a tiny little bit. I played Pokemon Sword, and then I recently just finished Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and now about a week or so ago I've started Super Mario. You know, I'm very much not a gamer, but I am trying to expand my palette a little bit. I've got Mario Odyssey, and I've also got Breath of the Wild, which I haven't started yet. And you know, I might branch out into a couple more games outside of that. So I would say no, but I'm really enjoying Mario Odyssey at the moment, and apparently that's like a good gateway drug and that sort of thing. So we'll see where things go. Nice.
Just gonna flex. Yeah. Next question.
Next question is
Favorite place / musical? I mean,
yeah, my answer's the same.
Yeah.
I was in a production of Little Shop of Horrors with my college just before COVID, where I played the lead role. And I know that makes me biased towards
and
Little
he
Shop.
was very good, by the way.
I so like, because that was the first time I had really properly like gone super in depth into a play for a performance, and really like got to know the whole thing off by heart, and you know, read through it and saw it like and performed it so many times. I really got to know and love like every single detail, and I really ended up appreciating, you know, every tiny little detail and all the little narrative links, and I ended up loving all the songs, and all the characters, you know, ended up meaning so much to me. And yeah, so I'm definitely biased, but Little Shop of Horrors is definitely my favorite. But I also really love Chicago. I think the film, possibly the best like stage musical to film adaptation that I've ever seen. It's just phenomenal how they adapt it to the screen.
Bellissimo.
And I know this is cliche, but I also adore Hamilton. I saw Hamilton in London just before COVID, and it was just amazing to see it live. But I recently rewatched it with my friend a couple of weeks ago. I rewatched the recorded version that's now on Disney Plus, and I feel like that was the third time of me seeing it, and I got more out of it that time than I ever had before, because I finally understood the story properly, and then I just absolutely fell in love with it even more. So that's an amazing show.
Tell you what though. Did you do an entire bit of your drama coursework reviewing Hamilton? Because I did.
I did not.
I know that play very well now. Like, far too, like, in depth than I needed to for that.
It's
And
so
my
good,
God,
though.
wow! It like, there are so many tiny bits. Like as a history buff and literally historian at this point, like the amount of attention to detail in that is very, very good. Like just throwaway lines in that play are like they have this entire rabbit hole you can go down for the context of it, which is very cool. Accuracy of it is very interesting. It's not entirely solid. They did leave a lot out that kind of paints him in a different light, but it's very good still.
And just from it's so cool because obviously because of your degree, you've got the history perspective on it and also the theatrical perspective on it, whereas I've just kind of only got the theatrical. But just as an achievement, as a stage performance, just every element of it just comes together immaculately. Such an achievement, what they managed to do with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so those are a couple of my
What's
favourites.
the next question?
The next question is...
I didn't know there was a trailer. I've been following it. One second. Let me just have an unbiased perspective that doesn't go off of memory, but I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to give that a 5. Not my style. I prefer to go for more interesting pieces of clothing. Yeah.
Those are... just shamelessly looking at Google Images. Those are a interesting design. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I personally wouldn't wear them. I don't like the kind of baggy that's going on, but I don't know. I reckon it would suit some people, so
Yeah.
not completely awful. Animal Crossing. Really can't go wrong with animal boys on an island. Favorite insect?
I've always liked a good woodlouse.
And you can quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go woodlouse. I like woodlouses. Woodlice, sorry.
See,
It's kinda just like sometimes you just pick up a good rock that's like damp and moist on the bottom. There's just loads of them there. It's great. That's the kind of insect that you like. They're not too big and they're not too like Eldritch Abomination-esque.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like little dots with a lot of feet that kind of just wiggle around and they kind of just don't bother you, you know?
See, I get that, but I unfortunately have to disagree. Because you know how... you know my house. You know the bottom floor of my house is kind of built into the ground, which means it gets a bit kind of damp sometimes. And we basically have a little bit of a woodlice infestation. That infestation is too strong a word, but on the ground floor, like every week when we come to like brush the floors and everything, there's like so many... Sorry to get into gruesome... I'm personally not a woodlice fan, but that, you know, there are worse insects. I would have to say something like... I kind of like caterpillars. I don't know. I think caterpillars are pretty cute. They're pretty harmless. They're not too disgusting because, like, some insects I have a bit of just a repulsive, like disgusting sort of reaction to them. But caterpillars are kind of cute. Like, they're not slimy. They're not like wasps. They're not evil. You know. I don't know. I would say maybe caterpillars. James, favorite Animal Crossing villager?
Yes. You see, I've only played a couple days in game, which means that I haven't actually unlocked any villagers other than my starting. I can't give I can't give a good opinion of this question yet. I will be able to get back to you, and Mira, I will get back to you, I promise. But for now, KK Slider.
I like the octopus dude. I've never played Animal Crossing, but I like the octopus guy.
Fair enough.
Okay, favorite animal, just in general. I feel like we had this question last year. We had a whole
Alpaca.
discussion about it. What was that?
Yeah. Alpaca.
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 Was that the same as your answer last year, or has it changed?
Yeah, it was. It was. It hasn't changed, and it will stay the same for all time.
Nice. I mean, I used to really love penguins. I still like penguins, but those obviously used to be my favorite. Now I'm more partial to an axolotl, or I would say axolotls, just because they're adorable and they have the best name of any animal. Probably that.
That's the species you gave in the Flemcore interview as well.
Of course, because the Flemcore interview was 100% honest and truthful and canonical.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah.
Album finished playing. Let's go again. It's in the background right now. Opinion on frogs?
I'm genderqueer, so I love frogs.
Does anyone not love frogs? Like you genuinely cannot go wrong with a frog as long as they're not too slimy. But I think they're fun. They're cute.
Yeah.
I've lost it again. Favorite mammal? Why are there so many animal-related questions? What's your favorite mammal, James?
Oh, my favorite mammal. I mean, other than alpaca, I like a good monkey. Monkey, very funny.
Nice.
Monkey bash rock. Monkey like human, but not quite like human. Very.
I did just have to Google are axolotls mammals, which they're not. Yes, platypi are mammals, so I'm gonna say I like platypi. They're pretty good mammals because they're just weird, and I respect that. Oh, okay. Wait, what? 1 in every 3 creatures is a beetle, apparently.
Ooh. Probably Voyage of the Damned, but The Runaway Bride is very close.
Nice. Both classics. Husbands of River Song is a pretty close second, actually. That is like one of my absolute.
Wait, was that? Oh yeah, that was a Christmas special.
What, Husbands of River
That was
Song?
a Christmas special. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of my top like comfort episodes. But Christmas Carol is my personal favorite. I just love everything that episode does. When's the Taylor album right? As soon as I can. KK Slider, let's go. My answer apparently hasn't changed since last year. What's your favorite house plant?
Ooh, basil.
Just basil in general?
Yeah, I mean, like I have a pet basil plant.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I remember.
Then had no space for him in the car. But yeah, I recently bought I recently adopted a new basil plant. Fresh herbs, good company, great hockey player, and yeah, overall quite a good G. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go basil.
Good choice. Mine would just be the favorite, the Pac-Man frogs are the spawn of Satan. What are Pac-Man frogs? Have you heard of Pac-Man frogs? I gotta Google this.
Yeah, I'm googling it already. They're like little squidges. What's wrong with them?
Oh, I can kind of see why they're called Pac-Man frogs. That is very cute. Well, what do you have against Pac-Man frogs? What's wrong with them? You had to Google that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did.
We can get that answer in 15 minutes.
Favorite dinosaur? Oh no! Ooh, that is a damn good question.
No, I feel like I've got it.
Yeah.
It's either between a Stegosaurus or a Plesiosaurus, but that's my normie perspective. I want to.
Awesome.
I mean, I know your very, very intricate perspective on dinosaurs, so I'll let you answer this one properly.
I actually have a story for this one. So for context, when I was a kid, I went through a dinosaur phase that lasted probably between the ages of like 4 and 12. It was a long dinosaur phase. For some reason, I just absolutely loved dinosaurs and was just completely obsessed with them. I think it was because of the whole. I guess it was the mystery of them, the kind of intrigue of them. Like we know loads about them, and yet somehow we know absolutely nothing. And then moving on from the dinosaurs phase, I kind of moved into like a whales and dolphins phase when I went traveling. When I went to like New Zealand and that sort of place, I was just fascinated by whales and dolphins because it was just the same kind of thing. It was like we know so much about them, and yet they're so elusive, and we actually know so little, and they were just fascinating to me. But anyway, it's something called a Dinosaurus, because at the Natural History Museum in London, they have on the wall a big sort of hanging pair of dinosaur arms that sort of just hang down like that, right? And those arms, at the time at least, I haven't checked recently whether it's changed, but at the time at least, the arms were the only thing that they had found of a dinosaur called Dinosaurus. And as a kid, I went to the Natural History Museum, and I was just absolutely fascinated. I was like, there was this whole creature, like this whole species that lived and that existed. And now all we have of it are these two arms, right? Nursery, I think. So I was probably like 5 at this point, 5 or 6, like 6 at the most. We did a dinosaurs topic in nursery, which obviously was amazing to me, my little dinosaur-obsessed self. And I have a specific memory of this one time where we had to like make dinosaur skeletons. We had like black sugar paper, and they had cut out like bones out of like white paper onto the black sugar paper. And most people, being normal human beings, created skeletons of like, a T-Rex or, a Velociraptor or maybe a Stegosaurus if they were feeling adventurous. But my 6-year-old self decided, no, I am not going to create the skeleton of an existing dinosaur. I am going to design my own idea of what a Dinosaurus could look like based on those 2 arms that I had been so inspired by in the Natural History Museum. So, Dinosaurus is my favourite dinosaur. I don't know. There are lots of cool dinosaurs though. I love them all, to be honest. But that's my random dinosaur story. Going back to Doctor Who, we have a question about who's your favourite companion?
Oh. And the 12 Clara dynamic. Not Clara specifically, but the relation that she has with 12. I like Donna and Tennant were just the perfect match in my opinion, because Tennant and what's she called again? Oh god, I've forgotten her name. How have I forgotten her name?
Martha? Rose?
I was in the actor's name.
Oh, Catherine
like
Tate.
The two
Catherine
actors.
Tate.
Catherine Tate, that was it. Sorry, thank you. Catherine Tate. Like, Tennant and Tate have such an amazing chemistry together on set that just completely ties the two together for me. But at the same time, I think in terms of the characters that were written, I think that Capaldi and Ullman have such a great character dynamic. So it's really between actor chemistry and character chemistry for me as to which one is better.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with both of those points. I kind of have two favorites, which I think, James, you would probably be able to predict. My favorite TARDIS team is 11 and the Ponds. Yes, I would say Amy is my favorite companion, but I like them most when they're as a trio. So like, I love 11 and Amy together, but I love them even more when you have Rory in the mix as well. But then my other favorite is Romana, obviously. Romana 2 more than Romana 1, but I still adore Mary Tam's Romana so much. I mean, the Fourth Doctor and Romana 2 is just my favorite, my favorite classic TARDIS team, and probably my second favorite TARDIS team overall. I just absolutely love Lalla Ward in the role, and their chemistry is phenomenal, and the way their characters play off of each other is phenomenal as well, because Romana is actually... I saw someone phrase it like this once, which I thought was just perfect. In every way except experience. And I absolutely love that, and it gives them this amazing Doctor-companion relationship that had never been seen before in the classic series. And just every scene that she's on screen is just... I mean, she is absolutely like my comfort character, but Lalla Ward just has such a screen presence, and yet even what's amazing is that Lalla Ward has to play off Tom Baker, this enormous screen presence ever, and yet Lalla Ward still stands out in everything that she does, and I just love Romana so much. I'm a Romana stan. Romana stan till the end. But your choices are amazing as well. I love 12 Clara. I watched The Fires of Pompeii the other day, and the scene at the end is when Donna just absolutely proves herself to be so much more than just comic relief. It's done so well.
Oh yeah. And I mean, spoiler alert for Doctor Who Series 4, warning, but my god, I don't know if in the revived series there's a more sad end to a companion's time. Like, wow. I mean, sure, some characters later on do die, but at least they remember. Like, Donna has to go back to her normal life. Thing with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, that's just heartbreaking. Like, wow, there's like very little as a kid that influenced me as much as just feeling so sad after that episode. Like was it The Parting of Ways or Journey's End?
Journey's End.
I can't remember the name of it. Oh no, The Parting of Ways.
That's Eccleston.
Parting of Ways was Series 1 finale. Journey's End is Series 4 finale. That was it.
Yeah. No, I agree. In terms of like what makes me the most emotional, like due to my personal connection to it makes me more emotional when I'm watching it, but their exit is, infinitely less tragic. Donna and Jamie and Zoe from Troughton's era, those for me are the saddest in terms of what actually happens to them, because it's the exact same thing. Like Jamie and Zoe throughout Troughton's era go through...
I mean, you've told me about what...
Yeah, like they go through so much progress and character development, and then it's so sad. Like Jamie's final... Like Jamie just... Because he goes through so much development, becomes such a different person, learns so much, and then the final scene that Jamie is in is him, like, reverted back to just, an angry, instinctual Highlander, and he just goes off, like, chasing one of the Jacobites or whatever they are, and it's like all that character development is just gone, which is just so heartbreaking. And it's...
Names very well. But I do have a lot of distinctive nostalgic memories of Minecraft. So yeah, those are my
Awesome.
like 3 options that I go for. I hate savanna biomes though. They're the worst. Desert biomes are cool because of the pyramids and the desert.
Nice.
And we are going through buffering at the moment on my side. Hopefully that's on.
cool. Well, we'll just carry on. We'll just roll with it. Pac-Man frogs have teeth and can eat a rat whole. Huh.
Hello?
Hello? Oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh. Yeah, I can hear you. What was that, sorry?
I just said, I was
Yeah.
just reading the comment, Pac-Man frogs have teeth and can eat a rat whole.
Oh, right, I see why Tourette's Gamer does not like does not like frogs then in that case.
Apparently we're experiencing a lot of buffering.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a sec. It's alright. It's alright. We've dealt with it so far. People are still here. They haven't all left us because of technical difficulties, so I really appreciate that. We're a bit behind on the chat, sorry. Geese have teeth on their tongues. Hell yeah, that's the vibe. I respect that. Blue whales so big. Geese. I want to hug. Hello,
Did
Finn!
you know though that blue whales are green?
Did you know blue whales smoke
Finn!
weed? Hi Finn, how are you? Sorry it was so late to the
That is
chat.
true.
We're so behind. How are you? It's so good to hear from you. My favorite dinosaur from when I was a kid is Parasaurolophus because a documentary said their weapon of self-defense is sound, and I found that the coolest as a kid. That's also amazing. I love them.
Also,
Isaac-
we missed the question.
Yeah, I was just reading the
What drills do we have in schools?
I was just reading the statement comments to catch up on those before going back to the questions because I don't want to be completely behind on what everyone's saying.
Ah, okay.
Isaac talking about Romana is my favourite. When do I not? New Music Wednesday. This is different. Yeah, no, it's a Wednesday. Because September the 1st, I wanted it to be the release date. I'm a second-hand Romana stan because I literally haven't seen one episode with her, but I've read so much of Isaac's tweets about her that I stan her too. As you should. In this house, we love Donna Noble. We do indeed.
I mean, if you feel any better about it, I've only seen one episode with Romana.
Yeah, but
Well, one story, technically.
one story. That is one of her finest outings, though. That's just incredible. Finn says the first song just made me transcend into another being. I really hope you enjoy the album, Finn. Buffering. I love rats. Who doesn't love rats? Stream is better. Good. Shameless plug channel. Stream is better. I'm good, just chilling. Well, thank you for coming along, Finn. I'm really glad you could make it. Right, let's go back to the other questions. I just wanted to catch up with what people are saying because I didn't want to be completely ignoring them. Genuine question: what kind of drills do you have in schools in the UK? Like fire drills, tornado drills, etc.
We only have fire drills in this country. We don't really prepare for much else because I mean that we're also quite biased because we live in the we lived at least past tense in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So it meant that we didn't really have any reason to have tornado drills. We just had fire drills because that was the most immediate risk to us.
However,
there was a thing that we had that was literally a complete. Oh yeah, I'll let you do this bit.
I was just going to say I have a recollection of like a one-off. There was like a lockdown, which was like a terrorist practice or something, but I think that only ever happened once. I think we just had to like get under the tables for a bit or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
In case there was a shooting or something.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, other than that, not including 13's companions.
Oh, not including 13 companions. Thank God, because I don't remember a single one of them. From what I've seen, honestly, probably Susan. But that's because I haven't seen a lot of Susan. I've only seen like maybe a couple episodes of Susan. So my bias is the stereotypical screaming 60s damsel in distress kind of character. but that's just after seeing maybe a couple episodes of her.
Yeah, that's fair. I
I
mean,
don't know if that counts as a is it classic series, but I don't know.
that's fair. Susan isn't one of my favorites, but she's not one of my least favorites either. Like, she definitely grew on me over the course of her run, especially because she was part of such a great TARDIS team. Like, First Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Susan is like one of my favorite TARDIS teams, even though Susan is definitely the weakest link for me, but she still fulfills her function really well. So she's not a favorite, but I don't hate her. Probably my least favorite, aside from 13's companions, would probably be maybe season 20. I really like season 23 Perry, but in season 22 she's just so her dynamic with Colin Baker in season 22 is so awful. They are just constantly at each other's throats. They don't seem to actually want to be together. Like, they don't seem to want to spend any time with each other. Perry does not seem to enjoy a single second that she's there. And, I understand that season 22 Sixth Doctor is a lot more sort of brash and harder to be around. But, I don't understand. There are so many points in season 22 where Perry just seems really unhappy, and it's just why are you still here? You clearly don't want to be here. Why are you spending time with this guy? But luckily in season 23 they really sorted it out, and they actually ended up with a really great dynamic, which I genuinely love. But it's a shame that they were then only in it for 2 stories. So probably season 22 Perry I'm not a fan of. Also characters like Dodo. Dodo is just to me. Some of the 60s companions. There are some really, really great. Third Doctor and Fourth Doctor have consistently amazing companions. So, yeah, that would probably be mine. But if you include 13's Ryan and Yaz, I'm not a fan of, but especially Ryan.
I mean, I see Yaz as having potential, but with Ryan, there's just not a character there.
No. And frankly,
Yaz, I've spoken to you about how misused Yaz is. She's literally a police officer. That could be used as a character point. A guy that's there. What can you do with that?
And also,
there's no character there.
Yeah. And also, I want to be really clear that normally I like for me to say this because I know, I used to do a lot of acting, and I know what it's like, and I know what auditioning or performing in front of people is like, and I know what kind of receiving, or I can imagine what receiving negative feedback is like. So I wouldn't say this often, but the performance is just awful. There is no emotion put into any of it. And it's he doesn't even seem to be trying. It's why was he hired for that role? I'm sorry, but the acting is just terrible from him.
Yeah. I agree with that. Anyway, moving on in a bit more of a positive way. What's the next question?
Next question is favourite and least favourite school subjects overall.
Ooh. Who wants to go first with this?
I think I've got an answer prepared.
Yeah.
My favourite school subject, even throughout secondary, where, to be honest, I didn't really enjoy very many subjects. Drama I absolutely loved, despite its issues at secondary.
I wonder why that was. Was it possibly because of Keith Allwood?
We won't get into certain issues that our drama class had, but then especially going into drama A level was just an amazing experience for me. Absolutely loved it. I also really loved art at GCSE level, mainly because we had an amazing teacher. It's weird, retrospectively, I'm not quite sure why I took art, but I'm really glad I did because it was such a great experience. Least favourites? PE, easily. I've always hated PE. I've never been a sporty person at all. And I never enjoyed those lessons, except a couple of random lessons where we had a certain teacher who basically just let us mess around and do whatever, and we ended up just playing like free. That was fun. And I also hated RE as well. Yeah. Not a fan at all, but I didn't enjoy loads of school subjects, to be honest. I enjoyed a couple, which are the ones that I kind of carried through with into A level, but I wasn't really into the whole school thing. I did pretty well at school, but I never really liked much of it. Like the learning, I don't know. But I
Pretty
still did
well. Pretty well.
I don't know. Well, you know, it's all history now. How about
7
you?
is an A. Oh, most favourite drama and art, obviously, because our art was phenomenal. Loved doing art. Wasn't a bad lesson of art. Drama, as much as our issues that we had with it, because same issues and the same teacher, that was still phenomenal. Just doing, and I'm so glad I did it. So yeah, those two are probably my favourite as well. Least favourite, however, mine differs from yours because I had a terrible experience with my teacher because I really wanted to try hard with Spanish, but my class really didn't want to let me, which meant that I ended up to the point where little Isaac over here was in the front of the class with all of the top-notch students learning with the teacher, whilst I was trying to mark my own mock results without a mark scheme or even a dictionary, which meant that I was pretty much on my own for the entire year.
Yeah.
Without any professional help from any teacher, which was really hard for me because I didn't even want to do Spanish in the beginning. I wanted to do French instead. So that's why I hated Spanish.
Yeah, no, that
but
was...
also RE and PEs.
Yeah. No, that was really awful the way that was handled. Like, the class was just so chaotic that it got to a point where our teacher was just like, all right then, I'm just going to focus on the people who are good at Spanish and basically leave everyone else to rot.
Yeah. And I was one of those struggling students that actually wanted the help but didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly.
Unfortunately for me, I know the two different levels of education. What the level that they actually care about you, and the level that they don't give a rat's ass about. Which was fun. It was very fun, and it made me realise that your actual intelligence isn't valued at secondary school at all.
Yeah, secondary was a strange place. I'm just going to take another quick bathroom break because I've downed a lot of this Pepsi, and then we'll carry on with the question. For just 1 minute?
That's fine.
I'll be back in a sec.
I too need to go to the toilet, so I will return the favour. 1 second, chat. Okay, I'll be playing you a song right now. I need the lyrics for it, because I don't usually sing on this. And as much as you say that I'm an underrated musician, I disagree. So we'll try that. Never actually tried to do this with locals, with lyrics before. Oh, the way I cast. Oh, the way I. Interesting. I'll have to work on that. Oh, the way Sorry about this. Sorry, I'll have to get back to that one. Sorry. This is a bit embarrassing for me. I don't usually do lyrics with my guitar, so listening to album while looking at your pretty faces. Aww. Okay, it's time for me to tune my guitar because this is actually really throwing me off bad. 1 second. But how are you guys doing? I hope that you're having a very good evening listening to 19 the Fear. That's right, this.
Good evening.
Hello?
We have returned. I feel like the lag between us on the Zoom has actually got better.
I'm not sure.
Maybe not. Maybe not. That was a bit of a long gap. Okay, how are we... Cool. Do you need a bathroom break?
Regardless, I need to go and pee.
Awesome.
So you can entertain them for now.
Hell yeah, I am the entertainer. Cool, so where are we with the chat? Also, I just want to take this moment to say thank you everyone for still sticking around. Like, part of me expected that we were just going to like go from 11 till midnight, and somehow it's 1:30. And for some reason you guys are still here despite all the technical difficulties that we've had, which I sincerely apologize for. Like I said earlier, I thought that my magical solution would be a magical solution, but apparently not. So I'm really sorry about that, but thank you for still being here and for sticking around. So what have we got? I can't stand Ryan. Does anyone actually like Ryan? Let's be honest. Thank you very much, Finn. I really hope you like the album. I'm having a very good evening listening to 19 of Fear. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Just Uno reverse card that one on you. Thank you for listening and for being here. And for doing both at once. That's some pretty serious multitasking you've got going on. I like listening to you guys talk. I don't really know why. I'm very grateful and appreciative, of course. It just seems strange to me. I don't think I'm particularly... I mean, James is very entertaining. I don't think I'm particularly interesting, but the fact that you guys keep sticking around and keep coming back to this stream just kind of must speak for something. So, thank you very much. And thank you for being here. We're back. We have a James. We've got a couple more questions to go through. This is an interesting one, actually. I'm really intrigued to hear what you have to say about this, because I have an answer to this now. The question is, do you like horror, film / TV / game / book, etc.?
As a medium, yes. As a industry that has built around itself around being really cheap and lazy, no. I really like the creativity and ability that people have made to terrify us. However, people have abused very basic and boring tropes that have made it less interesting. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely. I definitely concur. Yeah, that's no, I agree with that. But also I have another answer as well, because I used to never be a horror fan. I never really... It's not that I didn't like being scared. It's just that I never really saw the appeal until, of all things, and I'm sure that experienced horror fans would laugh at me for saying this, but of all things, I watched A Quiet Place, and that was the first that I understood the appeal of being scared in media, because the tension that I felt watching that film, it was like that was the first time where I was like genuinely like excited by feeling that tension. And what I found amazing about A Quiet Place was how they just ramp the tension all the way up and maintain it. They really maintain that tension. But like as the film goes on, they keep making it more and more tense. And this is what I always say to people. Like, it got to a scene about halfway through the film. James, have you seen A Quiet Place?
No, but I know what happened.
I don't think this is a huge spoiler, but basically, there's halfway through the film, there's a scene where one of the lead characters basically has to give birth in a bathtub while being completely silent because there's a creature right outside, and then she goes downstairs and like steps on a nail. Anyway, and at that point in the film, I was so tense. I was like, how the hell are they going to outdo this? There is no way they can make things any more tense than this. And then they did in the next scene. And then they did again for the climax. And the first time I was like, oh, okay, I get this. I understand why this is so exciting. So I went through it. It only, to be fair, it only lasted a week or two. But I went through a bit of a thing that I definitely intend on carrying on, because when I was watching a few horror films for a few weeks, I ended up really getting it and like really enjoying with people makes money. But I feel like, and again, I'm not very experienced with horror films, but in my very limited experience, when horror is done right, it can be really profoundly affecting rather than just cheap jump scares. Like, for me, the tension and the story is far more important. And I think what I find so fascinating about horror is the concepts that no other genre can explore. Because you're not limited in the same way. You can really like push the boundaries. You can push things as far as they can go and like as disturbing as they can go in some instances, and explore just some really fascinating concepts that like almost no other genre has the capacity to explore. And that's what really intrigues me. And that's why I've really loved some horror films that I've seen, and why I definitely intend to watch more. There's only one, I think, so far that has genuinely, truly disturbed me. Everything else has been like, this is really fun because it's tense, therefore it's exciting. But Hereditary was the only film that actually disturbed me. So I don't necessarily recommend that one if you're... I mean, it's an amazing film, but that was genuinely... Have you seen that one, James?
Yeah. I've heard enough about it to see it.
I went in completely blind.
In my mind, I've seen enough of it.
Oh, there's nothing quite like actually seeing it from start to finish. I went in completely blind because I saw the director's other film, Midsummer, which I really, really loved. And actually, I was eating ice cream. And it was the only time in my life where I've actually had to stop eating and put my food away because what was happening on screen was too disturbing to be eating with. So it was a great film, but I don't think I'll be revisiting that one anytime soon. But yeah, so I like horror. I don't have much experience with it, but I definitely want to get more into it. It's basically my very long answer to your very short question. And Mia says that me and my family were planning on watching A Quiet Place for months, and when we finally got to the night, we decided anymore. I swear it's on Netflix.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's really good film. I really enjoyed that one.
But yeah, just quickly answering the proper question, Mia. Game wise, love horror games. Horror games can be some of the most creative as well in some cases, but also the most lazy as a trade-off. Book-wise, I've not read many horror books, but the ones I have been so scary that I've had to stop reading them. So take that as you will.
Wow. Like what sort of books?
I'll have to think about that. I think Goosebumps were the main ones that I would read, but also there was another one. I can't remember the name of it though, so I can't possibly recommend it because I just can't remember the name of it. But I remember that being like sort of okay, maybe I shouldn't read this at 10 o'clock in the evening kind of thing.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I always watch horror films at night, which obviously makes them scarier, but that's like the point. It makes them a lot more effective. But no, I completely get that. James, you... Oh, wait, no, there's a different one. What are your favourite and least favourite genres of music? That is an interesting one. Do you have an answer?
Yes, I do. Favorite rock. I feel like I can't answer any other question or any other answer for music rock. It's the one that I just always find to be the most entertaining to listen to, whether that be stuff like 70s psychedelic rock or more modern rock. I always just end back up in the same place, whether that be rock or metal, because I feel like they're kind of genres of each other. But like the thing that I enjoy about it the most is that rock has so many sort of just umbrella parts of it. Like math rock is nothing like psychedelic rock. 70s rock was made, so it's kind of hard to not include later rock in that. Favorite genre, I feel like, I don't know, maybe hip hop, but that's just because I'm not very educated in the genre. I've not really listened to it all that much, and what I have listened to of it, I'm not a big fan of. But it doesn't mean I hate it necessarily. I don't know, of music, in the same way that I love other kinds. I just kind of really connect with music, or I just don't really feel much connection to it. There's no real kind of dislike of things most of the time.
Yeah. I think my answers are kind of on a similar vein, but slightly pretty much anything and everything. Like, I would have, like you, I would have said hip hop maybe like a year or so ago, but I've started exploring like some hip hop, which is like, basically I had a bit of a challenge for myself. I was like, this is like a year or so ago. I was like, I want to look at genres that in my head I don't like, and I want to find music within those genres that I do like to prove to myself that actually I like stuff from every genre. And I actually mostly succeeded. I found a whole bunch of country music that I ended up really liking. I haven't really explored much like death metal or anything yet, but I'm sure I'll find something I like. And hip hop, like I basically went and I was like, okay, what are like some of the albums considered like the best hip hop albums? And obviously the two most common answers are like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West and To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Lo and behold, I ended up absolutely loving both of those albums. I mean, there are some of them stylistically that don't do much for me, but that's just based on personal preference. Like, as music, as like looking at the musicianship and the creativity behind it. So I ended up loving those two albums, and I've started kind of delving into some slightly, some other stuff as well. But the one thing that has never connected with me is trap music, and trap drum beats. Like trap beats are like my number one. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, can I redact the hip hop thing? Because at least there's hip hop I like. Grime for me is, so I feel like I can't say hip hop when I like actually think about it. Grime for me is just trash.
That's fair. Yeah, I haven't listened to much, but that is fair. Yeah, no, it's trap for me. Just the music, like, because there's been around like 2016-17 time, there was a lot of like genre fusion. They started bringing a lot of trap drums into pop music, which frankly, in my humble opinion, was like the worst thing to happen to pop in decades. Literally, so many pop songs just have trap drums, and it's almost like a fight or flight reaction for me. It's like if a song has trap drums, it almost instantly like completely turns me off. I just can't stand that specific sound. I know it really works for some people because it's really popular, so people must like it. But for me, that's like my number one pet hate in music. I just can't do that. But if you have any recommendations of like trap music that you think is really good, I'm very much open to it, because I managed to find hip hop music that I like. I managed to find country that I like. So I'm sure there's something out there that will work for me.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I've lost where we are.
Hello?
Hello? Are we good?
Unequivocally, yes, I do like Wes Anderson.
I don't know if I've seen any of his films, actually. I obviously know the name, but I don't know if I've seen any of them. I'm very much not like a film buff or anything. I don't really know much about movies in the same way that I'm like really into music.
If it sways your opinion... If it sways your opinion, Wes Anderson's style of movie making influenced the Riptide music video.
Okay, interesting.
The kind of like zoom ins, the sort of vibrant colours. Yeah. Very stylistic.
Nice. I'll have to check some of it out. I've just seen Mia saying, third time listening to 19 of it, let's go. And then Finn says, jealous you get to listen to the first harmony again. What's the plot of Midsummer? It's really, really good. Without wanting to give too much away, it's basically about a girl who goes to Sweden with a group of friends. She has a Swedish friend who invites their group of friends to go to like it's not a camp, it's like a remote sort of village in the wilds, like in the middle of nowhere, where his family grew up. And it starts off really like peaceful and serene and sort of idyllic, and then things get interesting very quickly, and it really goes into some really dark, disturbing places. My god, the ending is disturbing as all hell, but it's really good. It's one of my favorite horror films that I watched, actually. It's really good. Finn says, thanks James, crying now.
What was that to?
In response to your least favorite being hip hop.
Oh yeah, I semi-redacted it. I can appreciate hip hop and its historical and artistic significance.
Oh, for sure.
It has meaning. I'll give it that. It's just not for me, really.
No, absolutely.
Is that fair? I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. Interesting on the music topic. Favorite era of music can be like a decade or a movement of a specific year or something.
I'm just going to copy and paste my Stuck in the 70s playlist.
20 years is basically where most of the stuff I listen to comes from. Because obviously I'm so into like the production side of things. I'm really into like modern production and that kind of thing. Not in any way to disregard any of the older stuff. Like, I don't mean to at all. And I love some older stuff, and I really want to like delve more into the history of music, because that's fascinating to me as well. But mainly over the last couple of years, my priority has been a lot of more interested in the future of music than I am in the history of music, because that is equally as important, and I really want to kind of explore older stuff more. But I would say like 2000s, 2010s is kind of my era, really.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, for me, at its peak perfection. But even then, perfection is objective in this world. So I love music that came afterwards. I love music that came before it as well.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Artist, English as in language, not as in from England.
Måneskin, full stop.
Language. I'm struggling with that one. You're making me realize I haven't listened to much music that isn't in the English language. There must be something, right?
But yeah, mine is Måneskin. I love Måneskin.
Yeah, I genuinely can't think of anything. Where are they from? Is it Italy, right?
They're Italy, yeah. Because they won the Eurovision for Italy. And that's who I was rooting for in the Eurovision. I mean, technically, ABBA are Swedish.
But they still sing in the English language, though.
Yeah. So it doesn't really count. But yeah, for me, it's Måneskin. Plays heavily into the rock bias, and technically they do have a couple songs in English, but my favourites are honestly just the ones that are in Italian. So there you go.
Nice, good answer.
That's my answer.
Hell yeah. Soldier Boy. Yeah, Finn says, to be fair, I don't even listen to Kendrick or Kanye. I listen to a lot of stuff pop. Yeah, no, yeah, no, that's cool. That makes sense. I remember some of the stuff that you've sent me is sort of along that kind of trap pop sort of fusion type stuff. But you should. I mean, I know very little about hip hop, but you should listen to like To Pimp a Butterfly, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Amazing albums. Genuinely incredible stuff. Buffering.
Sorry, I just saw a couple comments on Måneskin. The best compliment I ever got was that someone said, like one of my friends said that I look like every single member of Måneskin merged into one person, and that was probably the highest compliment anyone could give anyone else in the world.
And I went and googled it.
Bisexuality in a band, definitely.
I went and googled it after that, and like they're so right. I don't really know the band that well, but I just looked to see it.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I'm just like the just DNA, just culmination of perfection. That's just it.
It's true.
Can't help it.
It's true. I agree. Do you like music festivals? How many have you been to?
I've not been to as many as you, I don't think. I went to one in Hyde Park, I believe, like years ago. And I saw the guy that did Summer of '69, I can't remember his name. I saw Rod Stewart and a couple of other fairly well-known artists, but I was too young than that. I would love to go to music festivals. I've just never really gotten the chance to. And unfortunately, we were, like, me and Isaac, we were going to go to a music festival, but it got fucking cancelled because of COVID.
It was literally the greatest lineup ever. It was so good. It was like, what was it? It was like, hold on, let me find it.
The 1975 Cave Town, Charlie XCX.
Yeah, Phoebe Bridgers.
A couple others.
Phoebe Bridgers, Pale Waves, Bieber Doobie, and one person that I didn't know. It was literally like 7 or 8 artists, and I knew all of them except one, and liked all of them. And we had tickets, and then it got cancelled. That was painful.
Yeah, moment of silence for that.
Can we get some Fs in the chat for our festival? I think I've just been working it out. I think I've been to 5 music festivals in my life, which is not as many as I would like. I went to 2 when I was like a lot younger, which I don't remember much about. I didn't really go to many of the shows because I was like 13. No, I was like 11. Then I went to a one-day festival in Finsbury Park where I saw like Tudor Cinema Club. I went to a one-day festival in Hyde Park in 2019, which was amazing. It was a couple of people that I didn't know, and then it was The National, who are like my second favourite band of all time, and then immediately followed by Florence and the Machine, who I also love, and were absolutely just incredible live, just absolutely insane stage presence. And then I went to Reading Festival in 2019, summer of 2019, where there were loads of artists that I really liked. And that was the first time doing like camping at a festival. I mean, the general overall experience was just amazing. I absolutely loved the vibes of the festival. Saw a whole bunch of really great artists. Really loved it. So I would definitely go back to Reading again if the lineup was good. So yeah, I love music festivals. I haven't been to any near enough. I've been to lots of concerts, but only 5 festivals, I think.
Yeah. I've never been to a festival, unfortunately, other than the one that I was talking about earlier, which is sad because I love music and I wish I could, but I've not had the chance to yet.
I'm sure the opportunity will come up
past one.
post-COVID.
Oh yeah, totally. And I'm going to a couple concerts, which is pretty great. But yeah. Next question, right?
Still on the music lines.
I think we kind of answered that.
Yeah. So still along the lines of music. Favorite medium for music: digital, vinyl, CD, cassette.
Even though I don't have any, it's got to be vinyl. Vinyl is just has such a nostalgic feeling on a vinyl. I feel like it's just such an experience that is just tied to music in general. Like, I feel like owning a vinyl of your favorite.
No, I agree. I'm definitely with you there. I have a slightly odd answer perhaps, but I want to explain myself. Like, I love vinyl. Really love vinyl. I've been slightly like starting to build up my collection of vinyl. I had like 4 at the beginning of COVID, and now I think I have like 12. A lot more special than just owning the CD for some reason. Yeah, no, I do really love vinyl, but I have to say my favorite medium of music is digital, because as much as I feel like streaming, and this is a whole massive debate that we don't need to go into, but I feel like streaming is both the best thing and the worst thing that's happened to the music industry, like, ever. It's simultaneously the best and the worst thing. Because from an artist's perspective, it kind of sucks in some ways, but also in other ways, promotion is a lot easier. Being able to hear and spread music is so much easier. And from a listener's perspective, from someone who's really like passionate about consuming music, it's the greatest thing ever. Because I've heard like all the last 4 years, whereas if I had to buy every single one of those individually on CD or on vinyl, like, there is no way I would be able to afford like a fifth of that. But I've been able to explore so much music that has really inspired me and has really like changed my life because of the digital medium. And although in some ways it really sucks, I also think in some ways it's the best thing that's ever happened for music, especially from the perspective of a consumer. I'm so grateful for stuff like Spotify from a consumer's perspective. From an artist's perspective, it's not the same thing, but that's a whole different.
Next question.
I've just seen that Mia said about the physical form of music you own question. I wanted to clarify, like, I also like your favorite like specific album or song that you own rather than just your favorite medium in general. Oh, sorry, I completely misinterpreted that one. Do you have one? Do you have something that you own?
That I physically own? Oh, I mean, I don't own like the physical copies of many albums. I own 2 System of a Down albums, Toxicity and Steal This Album, but I also own the Teatro Diera, I believe it's called, of the Måneskin album that they released recently. 1 second. I'll need to look this up because I don't want to seem like a fake fan. I do have it. It's just not on me right now. And my Wi-Fi is too terrible. I think it's Teatro de Vida, if I remember correctly that it's called. I only own 3 physical copies of an album. but I don't have the means to play them. I bought them because they meant a lot to me. So I bought them because I wanted to collect them. In terms of actual like things that I want to get, but I haven't got the money to. Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, and King Crimson, Court of the Crimson King, because those 3 albums mean a hell of a lot to me. But I want to own them on vinyl, not CD. The other 3 I own on CD, those 3 albums mean so much to me, I want them on vinyl. So that kind of roundabout answers your question, I guess, but not really.
Yeah. No, and kind of segueing on from that, I'm kind of the same in the sense that, like, I do have a record player at home, but I don't play my vinyl very often. When I have the vinyl for something, it's more of a statement. Like, it's more of a statement piece. Like, I collect them because the albums mean something to me. And that kind of segue, I've just seen the other question. Mia asks, what are your 12 things on vinyl? The 12 things I own on vinyl are, let me think off the top of my head, The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, which, to answer your other question, that's my favourite thing that I own, I would say. So I've got The Suburbs, Funeral, and Neon Bible by Arcade Fire. I've got High Violet and Sleep by Bon Iver. I've got Microphones in 2020 by The Microphones, and I've ordered The Glow Part 2, which hasn't arrived yet, but it's on its way in the post. Then I've got Melodrama by Lorde, 1989 by Taylor Swift, and Blue Weekend by Wolf Alice. I think that's my 12. I think that's everything I've got at the moment.
Okay, is that us moving on to a next question?
Yeah, let's go for it. I've just seen, will the stream stay up after finishing to hear answers to questions I missed? Probably, yeah. Or maybe I might just put it unlisted or something, and then I can send you the link. Or that could be a way of doing things.
That might be a more digestible format to have it on.
Yeah, cool. Well, we can figure that out later. I'll let you have it in one form or another, Mia. So you can always look at stuff back if you missed anything. If I said artist name, let's go for every artist you mentioned that I like. I never finished typing, so I'm just say you have taste. What songs / albums do you have the most sentimental value for?
Ooh. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it, if you have an answer.
Probably. I can do albums. And I can do artists even. Okay, Crywank for me. James Is Going to Die Soon by Crywank was really an experience for me listening to the first time, because I saw the actual raw emotion that was put into James Is Going to Die Soon was just so groundbreaking for me that it pushed me to think about what music could actually be. But when it comes to actual music, probably it's called Tomorrow Is Yesterday, but everything is stupid. What was it?
Tomorrow is nearly yesterday, and every day is stupid.
Yeah. But as me and Isaac here call it Dog. That album means a hell of a lot to me, just for what it represents and the time that I listened to it, and how much it kind of influenced me, and like listening to it live as well, because that was the only other musical festival I went to was when I saw Crywank live, which was phenomenal. But yeah, it was my life that would probably be my album, to the point where I even bought a badge to put on my like denim jacket, "This is my life" shirt.
So I guess I'll kind of give two different answers, because the album that means the most to me is obviously The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, but that's kind of cheating because it's my favorite album of all time, so like you know that anyway. But I'm going to interpret your question in a slightly different way and go with an album that has a lot of sentimental value to me, but that I wouldn't necessarily defend as like the most amazing music in the world. Like it's still very good. It's just like the sentimental value kind of brings up the value of it a lot for me, which is Vessel by 21 Pilots. Like 21 Pilots has like such a special place in my heart, and it just has such a sentimental attachment to me that I will just always love it, and it will always mean so much. As I've got older and as I've sort of got more experience with music, I know that it's, you know, not perfect and it has its flaws, but I just don't really care, because it just means a lot to me. So that is an album that I have a lot of sentimental attachment to, I would say. So that kind of answers your...
I'm getting a couple of things about buffering, but let's probably continue onwards. Oh god, what's this? Side note, James's old tweets surrounding Brendan Urie are amusing me a great deal currently. Oh god, how far back? I am scared. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I have Suburbs Funeral, and my most recent vinyl was Neon Bible. Hell yeah, Arcade Fire vinyl gang. All my questions are music. It's all I got, but it's fitting because this is for an album release. Absolutely.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like it's been 3 hours. Started skimming through songs I listened to, and I realized the vast majority of them have partial trap beats. I'm so sorry, forgive me. Honestly, Finn, if that's kind of the thing that you're into, like, the great thing about music is that it's like there is a certain level of objectivity that you can apply to the production of music. I don't just mean production in the sense of creation of music. There is a certain level of objectivity you can apply in analyzing it and everything, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter, because music is about emotion. So the subjectivity of music is far more important than whatever level of objectivity you can choose to apply. So if that is the thing that connects with you the most, I have so much respect for that. I love that, even though it, you know, that specific thing doesn't necessarily connect with me. Well, there's one for you and then one for me. So James, do you listen to King Crimson?
I feel like I already answered this. Yes, I do listen to King Crimson. I'm kind of a bit of a normie in that sense. I only have listened to Court of the Crimson King so far, to Lizard, and I can't remember what the other album that I've got saved is, but I am planning on branching out soon. I just need to find the time to actually properly sit down and listen to the rest of it. But yes, I do really enjoy this. Inventing math rock is kind of a real big crowning achievement that I think that they've managed to get. So I feel like giving them the respect of that to say, do I listen to them? Yes. So yeah, I'd say I do.
I haven't got around to it yet. The Court of the Crimson King is like, I haven't had time yet because I've been listening to so many new releases this year, which beautifully segues into Sloane's question. Talk about Halsey's incredible new album. I've only heard it once so far, but I really enjoyed it on my first listen. My immediate reaction, like after hearing it once, was like, there is no way this is not their best album. Like, so much more going on than in any of the previous releases. As much as I have enjoyed like the first 3 albums, especially like nostalgic to me in some ways, and Manic, even though there was some stuff on Manic that I wasn't really crazy about, the highlights of Manic were awesome. And I think 929 is probably my favorite Halsey song alongside Is There Somewhere. So some great highlights on Manic, but I love the new direction that she's gone in, like much darker tone, some really interesting, like I don't think it's quite microtonal, but some really weird like tunings going on, some awesome kind of slightly more lo-fi, slightly noisier stuff. It's like really cool direction to go in, so I'm really looking forward to getting to know that album better. Random, but I can see that 9 is the last thing Raggy listened to on Spotify. Hell yeah, repping the...
I mean, there are just so many. I don't even know how to answer that because photography's just been around for so long. I mean, like, of us? Does it mean of photographs just in general? Because I guess if it's talking about just photographs in general, then I guess the first documented cat photograph is very, very adorable.
Nice.
It's kind of just like this white cat that's very fluffy, but at the same time, there are lots of very iconic photographs throughout history, like the Tiananmen Square one. That's a really powerful one. That's kind of just saying, like, photograph. I like.
So I'm far too tired to think of a serious answer, so I'm just gonna fall back on a dumb answer and say this is my favorite photograph. I'm gonna try and hold it still, so you can maybe see like one frame of it. From when I cosplayed the 11th Doctor. I love these photos. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But there's a couple of photos of me as the 11th Doctor. Hopefully you can see that one. I just think they're awesome. I was really happy with how that turned out. So that's going to be my answer because I can't think of a serious one right now. Do you listen to Lemon Demon?
What is the last thing on your camera roll?
Oh, sorry, I missed that one.
That's a bit of easier one to answer. Because I just moved into my new house, so this is my one with my flatmate Dylan, perching a plastic wine glass we bought in Tesco's on his knee.
Nice, good photo.
I don't know if Jack can see that. I'm just leaving it there for a little bit.
The last photo in my camera roll is the photo that I took. Oh, this is gonna get meta. Photo I took of this stream to send to James to demonstrate what the stream looked like. So that was my that's the most recent thing in my camera roll. Not particularly exciting, but there you go. And then the one that I accidentally skipped ahead to was, do you listen to Lemon Demon? Which I don't actually. I've never listened to them. I know the name definitely, but I've never listened to their music. Oh my god, time isn't real. Oh, I know. I literally, I can't believe it's been over a year since we did this last year. You know, since we released the first album. I don't know how it's gone so fast. It's just ridiculous. All of music is valid. Hell yeah. I could lose a leg and this man could convince me I can still walk fine. I'm not entirely sure what that is in, but we'll take it. We'll take it either way. I can't. Finn, let me know what that was in response to. I can't remember what I was saying or what James was saying when you posted that.
Want to listen to it soon. Thank you for the recommendation.
I swear March 2020 was yesterday. I know. I can't believe it's like a year and a half. Just mental. Is There Somewhere is so special to me, honestly. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Just the build up with the end with that like arpeggiating synth. That's just do 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 do. It's like that's the only way I can describe it. It's so cool. You guys are still up. We are still up. Originally in my head, I was planning on just doing the hour, counting down to the album, and then calling it a day. But, you know, here we are, still at 2:20. I don't know how this always happens, but somehow the stream ends up going way, way longer than I expected it to. This always happens. Favorite soundtrack, film / series / game, etc. James, do you want to take this one?
Oh. Or the Undertale soundtrack.
Nice. Good choices. I have two kind of quite different answers to this. One of my answers is the So, oh wait, no, I've just thought of a different one. Okay, I have three answers. One of and the soundtrack was done by Arcade Fire, and it's so good. It's just a phenomenal soundtrack. Just to listen to as an album, like even if you haven't seen the film, it's such a good like ambient kind of album. And then my other favorite film soundtrack is from Boyhood, which is my favorite film. Like every song in that film is just placed perfectly, and it helps that it has two songs from The Suburbs in the soundtrack. But I discovered a whole bunch of songs that I really, really love because of that film. 1901 by Phoenix, Hero by Family of the Year, We Are Giants by Billy someone. Amazing soundtrack. And then my other very, very different answer is the Pokemon Emerald soundtrack, because the Hoenn soundtrack is just phenomenal. And as much as I love the Oraz soundtrack as well, like the original Emerald version, like the 16-bit with like the trumpets, like those really awful synth trumpets, like it's so good, really nostalgic. Just brilliant soundtrack throughout. 10 out of 10 photos, you look so good in those. I'm not sure if that's referring to the 11th Doctor ones, but like I was really happy with that cosplay. Oh no. So Sloan says, give us your best collaborative beatbox.
I like to skip this.
But
I'm too
unfortunately,
tired
there's
for
like
that
a
shit.
10-second delay at least between us, so I don't think that would particularly work. Favorite Harry Potter book / movie?
No, I refuse. Oh,
Same.
my favorite Harry Potter book is probably, damn it, I can't remember the names now. My favorite book is probably The Goblet of Fire, but my favorite movie is probably the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah. So I haven't read the books in many, many years. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I used to read all the time, and I read the Harry Potter books loads when I was a kid. But it's really interesting you should say that because I've literally just like a couple of days ago finished rewatching all the films with my sister. And like the first 3 were the ones that I used to watch like all the time as a kid. So I have a surprise. I think out of the 8 films, I agree. I think Half-Blood Prince was my favorite. I think Chamber of Secrets is really underrated. That is one of my favorites as well. But I think Half-Blood Prince is, yeah, probably my favorite.
I love Gilderoy.
Oh, it's so good. So good. I love it. But yeah, I would say Half-Blood Prince. I couldn't comment on the book. But in terms of films, yeah. We've taken you hostage, still streaming for hours. I got distracted listening to 19 of Fear for the 4th time. Wow, that is dedication. That was my intention. Either of you read the... What's that? Is that... regarding Finn's question.
Yeah.
I just googled it. I recognise.
No, I've not read this.
I recognise it. I recognise that I think I ever read it.
No.
I do recognise it though. It's probably one of those.
I just realised I don't think I'm not sure how much longer I can go on for, energy wise.
No, that's cool.
I'm feeling.
But now we know we can do it remotely. Yeah. I reckon, because obviously there have been so many technical issues with this one, which again, chat, I'm really sorry about. I have tried my best, but I reckon.
Getting buffering.
Yeah. I reckon once I'm in London, I reckon we do another one soon. I'll do some when I get to London. When I get to the new place, I will do some tests with my Wi-Fi and everything. Try and figure out how good the Wi-Fi is, and if it's any kind of improvement to this, I reckon we do another stream pretty soon to kind of make up for the technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
And try and do one where there's actual like good Wi-Fi connection.
Oh yeah.
I reckon within a couple of weeks, if we're both free, I reckon we should try and do another stream.
Oh yeah, definitely.
hopefully with less
Yeah,
technical
the
issues.
only thing I'm getting right now is back with the buffer.
Yeah.
That's a shame. 1 second. Okay, no, my stream's come back online now actually. So I think let's do a turtle. So put turtle when you hear this. Okay, no, yes, another stream. Okay, so we should be fine.
Okay, they're only a little bit behind. Cool.
Well, yeah, should we, I guess, wrap this up now? Or I can't see any other questions coming through.
Yeah, no, awesome. Well, I mean, we've had loads. Like, once again, same as last year, we've had way more than I was expecting, which is amazing. So, I mean, thank you everyone so much for attending and for sticking with us so late and despite all these stupid technical difficulties. So I did. I'll just keep everyone updated. And like, when are you seeing Lord next year? I think in June, some point in June-ish, I think. There's the turtle. Yeah, pretty late. But anyway, I reckon if we just keep everyone updated.
They are. Okay, so they're like a couple, quite far behind.
Yeah. So if we just keep everyone updated, I will do some Wi-Fi tests in the new place and see what it's like, and maybe get another Ethernet cable. Because my dad was saying earlier, it might just be this cable's a bit dodgy. Like pretty soon, and not like leave it a year this time. Maybe in a couple of weeks or something. Yeah. Possibly even in person if you're down in London at any point. Then we don't have to worry about the Zoom connection lagging.
Or even down here.
Absolutely.
Or down here.
We'll figure something out. Sloan says, aren't you seeing Chloe Moriondo as well? I am, yes. I'm seeing them in March, I think, which I'm very excited for because, you know, although I didn't, it's not that I disliked anything, but although I liked Blood Bunny as a whole, there were a couple of songs in particular that have really stuck with me and that really like mean a lot to me. So I cannot wait to hear those live. It's going to be a great time. But yeah, with all that said, I'm going to leave you all with the promise of another stream as soon as we can. I'll keep you all updated, and hopefully the next time we do this, there'll be less technical difficulties, and you guys can actually have a more coherent stream experience. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I know I've certainly had a lot of fun. It's always the same. It's always the same every time. I get really nervous beforehand, thinking like, oh, I have no plans. I don't know what we're going to do. And then it just kind of happens. And then suddenly we're streaming for like 3.5 hours. It's bizarre. I hope you have too, James. It's been really great to have you here, as always.
Oh, it's been a blast. I've loved it. It's good to be back, just talking to the chat and, you know, just experiencing this other side of creating content. And yeah, I'm excited to do this a bit more often, and not to shout myself out too much, but I will be streaming a bit more now that I'm here in my own house, on twitch.tv/entgammon, so you can look forward to that as well. But yeah, expect more streams in the future, definitely.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, all that remains is thank you for being here. Go listen to 19 The Fear. It's out now if you haven't heard it yet. I really hope you enjoy the album. It means a lot to me and I love it a lot, and I really hope you guys like it too. And let me know. Feel free to send me a message or tweet at me. Let me know what you think. I really hope you enjoy it. And yeah, so until the next time, we will stream again soon. Hopefully with less issues. But until then, thank you very much all for coming. It's been great talking to everyone. It's been great to have you. So take care then. I'll see you at some point soon, hopefully. We can stream again.